one thing is to understand how the former communist system worked. It worked through an elaborate dictatorship centered in Moscow. Moscow controlled everything. The Polish Communist Party was controlled by the International Department of the Soviet Communist Party in the Kremlin. And in one of my books I described this spider's web of controls that went right from the top all the way through the Soviet bloc, through the Polish Communist Party to every village, every institution in Poland. Well, that spider's web has gone, it's broken up. There isn't a Soviet Communist Party in charge in Moscow anymore. So all these communists who ran Poland until 20 years ago have no signals coming to them. They were like robots with a wire, you know, and you know those little toys, those little motor cars, and you have a wire and a cable? Well, they're like those little toys and the cable. And I think a lot of people involved in that are reacting to from a sort of sense of disorientation that they had in the 1980s when Solidarity was active, or in the 1990s when a new system was being created. When the Pope came to Poland in 1979, June 1979, did anybody see him?
Yes.
Not on the television, I mean on the Krakowie and Wrocław. Okay. In that case, you'll remember his motto. It was "Nie lękajcie się." Don't be afraid. Don't give in. Be strong, morally strong. As a historian, I'm certain that this message was the psychological impulse for Solidarity. Solidarity broke out a year later. I don't think Solidarity could possibly have had the courage to do what it did without this message that had come from the Polish Pope. Don't be afraid. Now, the Pope has gone, and we've got a number of voices, I won't name them, but you'll recognise what I mean, who are saying, you must be terribly afraid. You must be afraid of Russia. Mr. Putin is waiting to pounce. You must be frightened of the Germans. They are trying to overpower Poland, not through tanks anymore, but through money. You must be frightened of the European Union. It's a terrible organisation which takes all our money away from us and gives nothing back. These were voices of fear, and you can hear them on the radio, are exactly the opposite of what the Pope was saying. And I think any good Pole, any good Catholic should think twice before they repeat them. It's unfortunate, perhaps inevitable, in a country where one system collapsed, a lot of people lost out, but still a large element of the population which is struggling, especially older people, again who couldn't adapt. Young people, I think, generally speaking, are doing very well. But there is quite a substantial group of people in Poland who are vulnerable to this sort of suggestion that you must be afraid, and I hope you don't wish wish to believe,